So why is everyone really fascinated and excited by RAGs? In the AI world, everyone is talking about retrieval augmented generation. And they think it has the potential to unlock the dark data of a company. You see, because most organizations, most large organizations especially, have dusty filing cabinets of PDFs and documents about process and policy and customer data and a whole host of different data that no one ever really uses and leverages. And RAG has the ability to make that relevant and make that directly applicable to how AI agents respond to customers in real terms. Let me try and explain this to you by breaking down what an LLM does. So every time you enter a prompt into a large language model like ChatGPT, it will break down those individual words into tokens. And then it will take those tokens and turn them into numbers, into vectors. And each word has exactly the same number every time. And then it's fed into the neural network. And then that's where the transformer happens. So GPT is generative, pre-trained transformer. The transformer will transform that word, that vector, from not contextually aware to contextually aware. What it tries to do is it tries to understand, what do you really mean when you use that word? So if the word, for example, was bank, you could be referring to a financial institution. You could be referring to the side of a river. You could be referring to the way a plane tilts to its side, or any other use of the word bank. It will understand the context of that word. And then, based on its understanding of that context, it will guess the first word of its response, feed it back in, guess the second, and that's where you get that response. But it's only based on the context that the LLM can glean from the actual prompt itself. But the reason RAG is so exciting is because RAG makes a whole host of other data available to provide additional context to the query. So in a business term, it will make, for example, brand guidelines available to make sure that any response is directly applicable to the brand that's responding. It will make the recordings from call centers of that individual customer available to provide context of previous conversations. Emails, process documents, legal documents, anything that exists anywhere, PDFs, any data that company has, which can be deemed to be relevant and appropriate to its response, can also be input in and given extra context to the search, to the response from the AI agent. And so that is why businesses are so excited by RAG, because finally they are going to be able to take all the dark data, just like dark matter. We only interact with like 5% of the matter in the universe. The rest of it we can't interact with. That's what data is for most businesses. We only ever use the same small 5% that exists in a useful way in a CRM. The whole host of data exists out there, and long forgotten filing cabinets can now be brought and leveraged and provide extra context to the way AI agents respond to your customers. That's why everyone's so excited about RAG.